Kia at Bill Bird Kia. The road is yours. Let spring adventures begin in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by today and check out the 2025 SUV family. Take a test drive and see the all-new features that elevate any adventure. And now offering 1.9% APR for up to 60 months on the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at Bill Bird Kia, PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust at Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2025 Kia Sportage. $1,748 per month per 1,000 financed in 60 months. Qualities limited. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. Not available on balloon financing. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 4/30/25.
Your pets are our priority at Southern Hospitality.
Professional in-home pet care to meet the needs of you and your pet.
Vacation pet care, dog walking, adventure hikes, wedding pet attendant, and more.
Southern Hospitality experienced team provides a safe, nurturing, and stimulating environment your pet will thrive in.
You'll even receive reports with photos and real-time updates of each visit.
Talk to Southern Hospitality? Call us now, 850-805-7387.
Bonded and insured.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
Powered by Panama City Toyota. Your home for Auburn Tiger basketball. WGSX Lynn Haven. WVLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida. ESPN Northwest Florida is live inside the Bendian's Best Move Studios. Get ready.
Deep center field and heading for the horizon.
Sports Talk Radio will never be the same.
Onion pickles, onions, pickles.
The Afternoon Underdogs.
Way back and gone.
On ESPN.
Northwest Florida.
Hello, friends, as Jim Nance is getting ready to get us ready for March Madness. Actually, James, do you know if Jim Nance is going to be doing March Madness this year, or are we out Greg Gumbel in?
I don't know if Nance is doing it. I have not looked up the lineup to see who's been calling games. I know Ian Eagle will be calling games because that's why he's not in Japan calling the games for the Cubs and Dodgers.
There you go, man. Did you wake up like you said you would at 5 a.m.?
No, when I said that I had to come into work this afternoon, I decided to sleep through it and watch highlights.
No, it looks like Jim Nance's final March Madness was maybe 2023.
We should pay better attention, man.
Yeah, maybe so. My goodness, though, y'all are riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. You're in the doghouse listening to ESPN Northwest Florida 104.3, ESPN Northwest Florida 101.9 in Port St. Joe. I'm David Hayes along with James Fife. We'll have Tyler Bishop headed in the building soon. Max DeLayden will possibly join us from the phone line this afternoon for your Minute with Max. Hopefully everyone is doing phenomenal this afternoon. We've got a lot to dive into, but really it's all about one thing. Speaking of Major League Baseball, it was I guess I can't say a welcome sight, but the Dodgers did exactly what we expected them to do, right? They beat the Cubs 4-1. And Shohei Ohtani, 2 hits, looked the most nervous that he's ever looked, according to manager Dave Roberts. I did not wake up that early to watch it, but our fellow Cubs fan hey, look at this, James. Is this the first time that we've ever been supporting the same?
I think we've actually had not done this one before.
The only other one.
We've done a Titans thing once, maybe?
Maybe a Titans thing, possibly. possibly Lightning if you have any Lightning regalia.
I've got a Lightning jersey. Not sure if we've worn the
Tampa Bay
the
Rays
hat
is
and
an
the jersey at the
opportunity.
same time. Yeah, we got the Rays.
Yeah, so if we put if we put my head on your body,
You
it
can
would be a
get a
Chicago
Pirates
Cubs
hat
player.
going for you, and I got a Pirates hat.
I've got a Pirates hat.
Oh,
I got a
you do that
Pirates
too,
hat. Yeah, there you go, man. I'm trying to work my way up to getting all 30 teams again. I've had it in the past, but I almost want to be like Boston Tim out there where all of his hats, it doesn't matter what color they are, they're Boston. For me, I like to get the official on-field caps when it comes to baseball. And so my favorite are the retro caps. So I end up saying, I want this Braves hat, I want that Braves hat, and I end up just going and getting a retro hat of a team that I don't support at all.
Did you see the new era hats that came out?
The ones like that had the logo and the words behind it, and you're going to go towards Texas.
The Titans, yes. They no longer sell those hats, man. I have seen those hats going on sale now on eBay for a G-spot a piece.
That's it. The old Titans.
I looked at that and I was like, this is hilarious. And I had to show my wife, and she's like, I don't get it. I was like, it's Spanish for, go look it up.
Then there, I mean, pretty easy. If you have to think too long and hard about that, it might be problematic. James, if you can open up that door real quick, like Tyler Bishop should be in the building with us at any given moment. Also, in NBA news, this is some of the biggest news from the NBA last night. Tracy Morgan, a comedian, was courtside at the Knicks and Heat game up there at Madison Square Garden, and he had food poisoning. Everything's good with him. So,
do you think he had some MSG at MSG, and that what gave him the problem?
Maybe not MSG, but maybe there was something that added with the food poisoning. But according to the doctors, and that's all we can go by, is that it was food poisoning. I didn't know until reading some of the articles. Like, he had a coma. He was in a coma in 2014 from some sort of incident.
Yeah, he was in a limo, and a 18-wheeler decided to breed with that limo, and he was in the back of it. So he ended up, he was in a coma for a couple days and was in the hospital, I want to say, for a good 3 or 4 months. But it turns out, hey, made a good recovery. Happy for the man to have the recovery. I was kind of worried about him because when you saw that vehicle, I mean, it was smashed.
The expression decided to breed with that vehicle. that was good. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously with something like that, that's some scary stuff, but...
What's going on? Tyler, college football prognosticator in the building with us.
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Hey, man.
It's a beautiful day.
Another one.
Man, it's crazy. It's some of the best weather we've probably had, all year, I guess. It's starting to warm up a little bit. It's nice and, not hot out right now, but
I like it. It's nice. There's not that humidity. You got the nice little breeze coming in. If we could keep this for the rest of the summer, I'll put this request into the governor.
Yeah.
It would be great.
Maybe we need to go, right above his head to the president,
I mean, they control the weather machine, so why can't they do this?
I mean, Gulf of America, why not just have American weather all the time, which is 65 all day long, or 70. What do we need, 65 or 70?
Like 72.
70 with a breeze.
Yeah, with a breeze.
You got to have a nice little breeze with it. Not too much humidity, though. Like right now, we're hanging about like a 30% humidity. That's nice.
Yesterday there was a nice breeze, but it was also one of those ones where it was almost windy because every time that it's coming at you, it's feeling a little bit more cold than
once that sun starts hitting and the breeze starts coming in, then it gets a little chilly.
At the same time, yeah, but when you got the sun and the breeze at the same time,
perfect.
And it's at like 72, as you mentioned, it is absolutely perfect. But then again, we have so much more that we, take for granted, and we end up complaining about around these parts. But it does get pretty daggum hot during the summer. Well, really, it's the after summer. It's the post-summer that's
the
worst.
August, September, where it's
college football comes around, it's like, I think, you know what one of the issues is? Maybe it's just me, right? Because I end up spending so much more time inside around the end of August and around September because college football's here. So it's like, all right, well, what's
it doesn't really matter with the weather. Like, I'm watching the game. Although when you go to a game.
When you go to a game.
Those noon kickoffs. Those noon kickoffs in like Florida, Georgia.
I don't think I've ever been to a noon. I don't think I'm that.
I mean, I've been to some noon kickoffs just for Western Kentucky games, and you're packed in there like sardines on those, concrete block steps, and it's just awful hot. You and your buddy just sweating all over each other.
That's something that comes into play for me whenever when I'm picking out tickets for a game. And it's like, well, what's the weather going to be like there? Because I don't know if you guys know this or not. Like, the atmosphere is cool and all, but At the house, I get a better view, and I get to watch multiple games.
Yeah, because
a fiend for sports, it kind of works out better that way.
Let's just say they don't always put the student section as the best seats or in the shade.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, man. March Madness is upon us, so y'all get over there to ESPNPC.com or just go straight to the, what's it called, the daggum Tournament Challenge app. You can just go get the Tournament Challenge app, type in ESPN Northwest Florida. We've got the men's bracket live now. Looks like we've got 76, so let's get that thing up to, we want to get to 120, so I need 50 more of y'all to get involved before Thursday at 11:15. That is when the brackets will lock. Have you got in?
I'm in. I haven't set my bracket yet.
Oh, that's fine. If you are someone who has, just like Tyler, already gotten into the group but have not done your bracket, as of Sunday at about 6 p.m., brackets are ready to go. So make sure that you dive into that. How far do you got Georgia going?
We're going all the way. I already told you I'm taking Georgia win. I don't care. I'm not going for accuracy here. I'm playing with my heart. But no, we got Gonzaga round one, which is a tough task. You know, they've been to the Sweet 16 9 straight years. Their head coach over there super successful. And then if we beat Gonzaga, we have more than likely the opportunity to play Houston, a 1 seed. So not the easiest path for Georgia here the first couple rounds here. But, hey, Houston's 0-2 versus the SEC this year. Maybe that matters. Maybe it doesn't. But this Georgia team, they played more like top 10 teams on the road than anybody else in the country. They've played, 2 of the number 1 seeds in the tournament. Played them down to the wire, beat Florida. So, I'm not going to say they have a legitimate chance of winning either of these 2 games. But I think they'll have some fight in them, and we'll see what happens. You never know. But in my bracket, they're winning the national championship, so it don't matter.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, though, Bulldogs versus Bulldogs to open it up, man.
Yes,
and we're going to do something at 5 o'clock. We might even start it at 4:20. If Max doesn't end up answering his phone, we'll start that. We're going to do the bracket, mascot versus mascot, right? And so we'll pick it like that. When we run into a situation, which we will at least twice in the bracket, where it's Bulldog versus Bulldog or, same mascot versus same mascot, we'll flip a coin, and that's how it'll go. So, but we might just have to, get a double-sided coin for the Georgia Bulldogs to help move them along,
on the scale, so to speak here, but we'll make it work.
Oh my goodness! 850-215-6290 is the number to call or text this afternoon. Thank you guys so much for riding along with us, David Hayes, Tyler Bishop, and James Fife. We're only going till 5:30 this evening, and then we'll get you over there to the first 4 action tonight. And those games are going to be, what do we got tonight? It's Alabama State and St. Francis, and San Diego State and North Carolina, I believe. And then tomorrow night we'll have American versus Mount St. Mary's, and Texas and Xavier. So, James, out of those 4 matchups, which one are you looking forward to the most?
North Carolina, San Diego State, just because everybody has a wanting for North Carolina not to be there. I don't really watch enough college basketball to have an informed opinion, so let's just see who's right, the committee or the fans.
I just love the fact that North Carolina was like the biggest question mark getting in, and their AD is the head of the selection. How do we let this happen? How do we let an active?
But
AD?
it was already. It's already. I mean, isn't it?
It is.
Isn't it that way in college football?
I still agree. Like, how do we let this happen?
It's not like we've got Georgia or Alabama's AD up there. Maybe Alabama would have gotten in over SMU had it been that way. Well, all right. I was listening to the Paul Feinbaum show. I can't remember who it was that they had on their guest as their first guest yesterday afternoon, but of course this is after the show was already over at 6 p.m. And they said, it's not a good look. It's not a good look, but at the end of the day, he wasn't in the room when they were making the decision, they say, but still not a good look. I don't know how you eliminate this, because at the end of the day, when we're talking about college sports, this is what separates college sports from the professional avenue of sports, right? There might be guys who have had, like Chipper Jones. His only knowings of Major League Baseball is with the Atlanta Braves. But half of the other guys, maybe 75% of the other guys, they are other athletes, they've had run-ins or situations or signings with multiple different franchises. When it and we're on our way to that in collegiate sports. But if you're an AD, if you're whatever, even former, you're going to have some sort of an allegiance. No matter who it is that you put on that committee, they're going to have an allegiance to at least one of those schools.
For sure. And I mean, honestly, in my opinion, like, it's a bracket of 68 teams. If you're the 69th team, like, I feel for you, but come on, let's be honest. Like, if you're not definitely one of the top 60 schools in the country, can you really have a huge argument? Like, I get it in football when it was like 2 or 4.
Right.
It's a little bit different. But when you're not one of the definite top 60 teams, like, oh, this team is definitely top. Like, I mean, we're really just kind of, I mean, granted, there's always the Cinderella stories, but let's be honest. If you kind of lose your argument if, oh, we're 65, we deserve to be in the top 68. It's like, what are we doing yet? Like,
I mean,
but it is a bad look, though. It's a bad look.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at it this way, too. For UNC to be in there, somebody gets bumped out. Who got bumped out? Boise State.
Yeah.
Who's going to bring in more eyeballs and more interest?
North Carolina is not even a question.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's always going to play a role, as sad as it is. And then you can look at the numbers, and the numbers can be skewed either which way. But if we're going to put so much weight on these quad one schedules and records, then that should be,
It should be.
We should look at our process, and then there should be a numerical order. Like what sport was it that we just had where I think it was the SEC championship for the regular season on the women's side of basketball. They flipped a coin to figure out who's going to be the number 1 seed, right? They had, A, B, and C, and then D was coin flip, or maybe C was coin flip. There should be a process in how you break these teams down. Like, are quad ones the most? Quad one wins the most important. Obviously, you can't sit in there and you can't sit there and tell me that conference record is the overall, like kind of tiebreaker, because with Texas and Oklahoma going 6-12 in the SEC, and then what do they say? Oh, well, the SEC was really good. We don't really know that. We're guessing that, and a lot of people would like to sit there and say, oh, well, and I will say, yes, did the SEC beat themselves up as a conference? Yeah, they do that in almost every sport. But how many times have we seen the Big Ten, the ACC, the Big East in that position? And then what happens come tournament time? Like, one team gets this spotlight on them, and it's like, man, I can't believe this is happening. Then all of a sudden, they're outside of what you call the war of attrition, and they fail.
Yeah.
So that's what I really don't know how much trust I can put into the SEC teams as we move throughout this tournament.
The only thing I really know about SEC basketball as a whole, not the only thing, but like they had a historical out-of-conference performance, and that's kind of why people are not as. I mean, there's some people. You got the Danny Cannells of the world who are saying no team deserves 14, or no conference deserves 14 spots. But they had something like an 89% winning percentage out of conference, which was like 6.5, 7 points better than like the best performance all time in the NCAA. So like, if there's ever going to be a time for this many teams from one conference, and it's something we'll probably see more often going forward as conferences expand, as we get more super conferences. Like, you're just going to keep consolidating the talent to these 2, 3, 4 school or conferences, and you're just going to see, we'll probably see, 16, 17 before too much longer if they keep expanding like this.
I mean, you're going to see 32 teams in the Big Ten and the SEC together. So, I mean, you're going to see 18, 20 teams get in eventually.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I think it's just a preview thing. But yeah, like I said, if the SEC really did have as good, I mean, because both Bama and Auburn beat Houston out of conference. Georgia beat St. John's, who won their conference. You had a lot of those kind of situations where, like, the SEC did beat up on some of the best teams from the other conferences. So maybe this is the one year. I mean, granted, we could go in the tournament and every one of our teams could lose round 1 and be like, wow, see, we told y'all the SEC was overrated. But if you look at
But that's not what people are saying, though, is that the SEC is overrated.
Well, they got too many conferences.
Well, there's, I think at 14 is just, my goodness, 14 out of 16, 13 out of 16, and college football season. You look at where baseball's at right now, top 4 of the top 5 SEC teams. And I'm not saying that that's, a lot of people, especially people in this area, will tell you, well, just, follow the money trail or whatever. Yeah. And could there be some truth to that? 110%. However, when it comes to college basketball this year, you named all the top teams. I don't got to dive into that, right? Like, the top teams are going to be legitimate threats in this tournament. It's how deep is the conference really? Like, when we see Texas and Xavier, if Xavier beats Texas, does that kind of start the ball rolling on
That's going to for some people. Just because,
exactly.
Some people get paid for clicks, and so it's clickbait to a certain point also.
There you go. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, though. I mean, really excited about the games tonight, first 4. Am I as excited about the games tonight as the games that we're going to be witnessing come Thursday, come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Absolutely not. But these are still the opening games of the tournament. Y'all get over there to ESPNPC.com, click on the Big Bracket Challenge, and join us as we wade through the waters of March Madness. Did you wake up at 5:10 this morning to watch the Dodgers and the Cubs?
It was on my list of things to do, but
Just
man,
didn't get there?
Yeah.
Ah, tough, man. I didn't even.
No,
I woke up this morning and I saw people like Max, I guess, woke up to watch it. It's like
what's the
he's
point
like,
of
let's
starting
go
games that
Shota.
early?
Well, they're in Tokyo. They're in Tokyo, so it's a Tokyo series. You have,
Gotcha.
I mean, how many Japanese players do the Dodgers have? Just on their rotation, they have Shohei, they have Sasaki, and they have Yamamoto. I'm not sure if they have any other position players, but then when you go look at the Cubs, they got at least Shota Imanaga, and they have Seiya Suzuki. So there's
So should the NFL adapt this week one, have a London game just to get football on all day?
Well, I mean, they did that in Brazil this year.
Yeah, but that was
It was
like a Thursday.
It was like a Friday game.
It was
a
like
Friday
a night game, though,
They're
too.
going to do that as well this year. I tell you what, as much as I love football, no one can tell you any different if they do their line bold-faced to you. I'm more of a fan of the 12 o'clock window, 3 o'clock window, and 7. When I got to wake up at 8 o'clock, first off, 9 times out of 10, the games that y'all are giving us when they're overseas,
those are garbage.
They're garbage.
Jaguars versus Giants. Who wants to wake up early, everybody?
Yeah.
Mac Jones versus
So it's
Tommy DeVito.
The only thing I got to do right there is watch the fourth quarter and set my fantasy lineup. But at the end of the day, it's like, I used to get so, man, we got football all day. Now I'm just like, man, I'm already spending over 12 hours sitting on a couch, my man. Like, it's not very healthy for me at that point, you know? So, no, I think what week one should be in the NFL is, it doesn't matter what happens in week one in the NFL because we're going to watch it. we are going to watch it. What ideas you got, James? You look like you got something.
I mean, for what I want to see in the NFL week one, which has nothing to do with what we were talking about earlier, but like how they end the season, let's start the first week with division games. Let's have the last week of the season with division games. I'd like to see that actually in all sports, but I'd also like to see the divisions mean more in each sport because they seem to be spreading it out even more to where they're getting to like playing everybody. Like baseball, we have to play everybody every year now. No, we don't. We don't have to. I mean, you say we have to. No, we don't. I'd like to see the Cubs play the Reds more. I'd like the Cubs to play the Brewers more. I would like the Cubs to play the Cardinals more. I really don't care about them going and playing the Angels.
I like that. So if the NFL added an 18th game, should we make it? Like, should they make it a 7th divisional game? Would that help with some of the tiebreakers? Like, would that be kind of?
I think that's an interesting concept, but how do you set it up? Do you have one play 4 from the last year or 2 play 3? Because that's the only thing is you'll have kind of a disadvantage for that.
You could do like, maybe in like 1 versus 2, 3 versus 4. You know, you could do it certain ways. But
I figured if they did an 18th game, like what they did with the 17th game, is wherever you finish in the AFC, you play, the equivalent in the NFC. So if you finish 8th overall in the AFC, you play number 8 in the NFC. So I figured why not just do it between then divisions? So if you're finished first in the AFC South, you play number 1 from the NFC South.
They already have that though, but that's for like the week 17 games, I believe,
when they added the 17th week, what they did was they took your overall from the AFC and NFC. So if you finished first in the AFC, you played whoever first in the NFC.
I was arguing about this last year or maybe 2 years ago with Adam Goff, and I swear that they have it on a division. It's not just like 17 in the NFC versus 17 in the AFC. I felt like it was a division, but again, I'm not going to argue. I was wrong in that argument. So I'm just going to stay away from it. And I know one thing. James has got a PhD, and he makes a mean batch of... What's it called?
That was a corned beef last night.
Corned beef and cabbage. I mean, I haven't had it yet, but it looks really good. Hope you all had a great St. Patrick's Day. Coming up next, hopefully we're going to get Max Delighten on the line. If not, we're going to start fighting these mascots and picking ourselves a bracket based on how well these mascots can fight. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs, listening to ESPN Northwest Florida.
The next evolution in sports talk radio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. The Afternoon Underdogs. Hi. The only live afternoon show in Panama City where you can win fantastic prizes from amazing local businesses every day.
That's right.
4 to 6 weekdays. The Afternoon Underdogs.
It's mayhem.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Tuesday. Sunny the rest of the day with a wind out of the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour and 71. Tonight, look for mostly clear skies with a temperature near 59. Tomorrow, a high around 73 and sunshine. Thursday, quite warm with a high of 68 and a slight chance of showers in the morning and then mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
National Cleaning Week is almost here. Join us for Spring Clean Weekend at Tommy's Express. It's been a long winter of salt, dirt, and road grime, and your car needs some love. Wash for free with us Saturday, March 22nd and Sunday, March 23rd. Use our free vacuums and floor mat washers and check out our detail kits to complete the interior clean. Spruce up your car for free this weekend at Tommy's Express. Highway 77 and 23rd Street next to Starbucks.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Live and local from the Bendian's Best Move Studios.
Come on now.
Get the edge on the competition with the latest lines, expert picks, and everything you need to place your bets. Elevate your game day experience with ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. ESPN Northwest Florida.
That's what that reminds me of. Little Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 action. I had to delete that from the Xbox last night as I was trying to make a little room for Red Dead Redemption, trying to get my cowboy on last night. But it ended up taking too long to download, so I didn't end up playing any of it, man. It was like downloading like 400 megabytes per second and then dropped down to 90, and I was like, I'm not waiting 4 hours for this daggone game to download. My goodness gracious, why can't I just put the disc in and let's ride? Chef Ross says, so the fans can still be right that UNC didn't have a good enough resume to be in the tournament, but now that they are in, resumes don't matter, and the score starts 0-0. How far do you think UNC will get? You go to ESPNPC.com, ESPN Northwest Florida, presenting the Big Bracket Challenge. We got cash, we got prizes for first, second, and third, brought to you by Panama City Toyota, PCB Hobby, and by Pepsi. Go to ESPNPC.com, click on the Big Bracket Challenge. Invite your friends and your coworkers to join the madness. Max Delighten, how much are you looking forward to that San Diego State North Carolina game in the first four action?
Oh, is this intentional?
Yes, this is absolutely intentional. We just had a conversation in the break about which direction we're going to go with Mr. Delighten.
What a crock job. Oh, my gosh, dude. That is just egregious. I can't believe they even let North Carolina in. Nice 1-12 in quad one games. I mean, dude, honestly, this is one of those games that's like Michigan Notre Dame, like the Mountain West versus the lowly ACC. I mean, oh man, I don't even know where to begin. I'm gonna start sounding like Frank the Tank, like a broken record.
It's like I didn't know. I started asking about the women's bracket or something.
Dude, is everybody rooting against North Carolina just to kind of say I told you so? Like, is everybody kind of not united on that front?
Yeah, especially because UNC is just communist. Yeah.
They're not red, they're blue, man.
I was about to say,
take that, Bill Belichick.
They're the good kind of blue too. Yeah. I mean,
they're liberal communists.
How about Bill Belichick? Go ahead, Max. I don't want to interrupt you.
No, I know. No, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, between that and the SEC having 14 of their 16 teams in, I could go for days. However, that being said, if you can get Big Ten under 11.5 wins, hit that. But
well, how many teams do you think that the SEC should have gotten in? Because we were talking about this on the Inside Drive the other day, and I was like, I don't know if they're going to break the record of 11. I think if they do, they'll get 12 in, but I think that the realistic number for them is 10. Lo and behold, Selection Sunday comes, and they get, as you just mentioned, 14 out of 16 teams. How many do you think from the brainiac of Baxter Leiden?
Well, they got 14. There's some good theories there. ESPN definitely missed out on the SEC not showing up in the playoff for football a little bit and hasn't been in the Natty for about 1,000 days. No one's counting, but you know.
He sounds like you're counting.
No, just a fun stat. But I mean, come on, like, let's be realistic here. Like, did Arkansas and Oklahoma really deserve it, or are we just going off the fluff? I mean,
hold on. Would you say that Texas deserved it more so than Arkansas? And I have free reigns. That's a question there. I'm not saying that Arkansas did deserve it more or any of that.
Texas had some wins. I mean, it's tough. Like, we're really just going to let a 15-loss team in. I mean, granted, their Q1 was better than Indiana's Q1, so I'm kind of throwing stones at glass houses here. Granted, we finished 500 in our conference. You know, that didn't matter a little bit. But they won 1/3 of their conference games. Anyway, 15 losses, brutal. Either way, I don't have a bone to pick with Texas. It's North Carolina and Xavier getting in. Oklahoma's kind of a trash can one, too.
I wasn't a huge fan of them.
Georgia earned it beating Florida for sure. That win's insane. Good for them. And that's like buzzsaw Florida. That's not early in the year Florida. That's the Florida that, you know, took it to Bama twice, takes it to Auburn. Like, I mean, good for them. That's an impressive win. They earned it.
Yes, sir.
Everyone else I'm pretty okay with. Ole Miss, where Indiana's too self-righteous to hire Chris Beard, which I respect that the SEC just kind of is like, yeah, we're just going to, you know, oh, you might have a checkered past. It's okay. We want to win basketball games. like the Big Ten's too holier than thou on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's coming to bite them. I mean, I can look in the mirror. We haven't won a natty in the Big Ten since like 2000 with Michigan State. And a lot of that is like the non-willingness to change. Like, there's no reason if you're the Big Ten right now, Chris Beard isn't your first call at Indiana, which he should be. And he wants the job, but Indiana, you know, kind of still lives in the Bobby Knight shadow era of like, you know, we are the pinnacle of programs here.
Y'all been living in that shadow for a long time, man. How many coaches is it going to take?
Exactly, brother. Preach. I don't care, man. Charges were dropped. Let's win. And then Will Wade, who broke recruiting infractions, like, dude, come on. Like those two guys not being your automatic first calls are just like, get over yourself. Like, now today we're rumors spiraling about West Virginia's coach DeVries. Like, wow, real exciting. Or the Drake coach. Like, come on, dude. Chris Beard, probably the guy. 20-piece Louisville this year. Also, I'm very intrigued to see how the ACC does because, like, Duke is Duke, and Duke will always be Duke. And it's kind of like Bama and Georgia being good. Like, Duke being good is just good for college basketball. Like how Bama and Georgia are to college football. And Duke's going to be there to stay for a while, but the rest of the ACC is a joke. I mean, if Indiana hires Brad Brownell from Clemson, too, I'll be pretty disappointed.
I just got a text. I just got a text from someone saying, ask Max how he would feel if y'all hired Clemson's men's basketball head coach Brad Brownell.
Oh, well, great question, Texter. That'd be a great hire. I mean, that's a great, you know what? That's a great coach for Clemson basketball. For Indiana, that is not a good hire. That's like, I don't know. That's like Georgia hiring, like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy here. That's like
Greg
Georgia
McElroy.
It's like Georgia hiring like Pat Fitzgerald when Northwestern was like 9-3 for a couple of years. It's like, oh yeah, that's cool, but yeah, he's going to be coaching at Georgia. You know, like, good for Clemson. Are they really that good? Probably not. They beat like no one. So happy for them. I mean, and then I don't know, man. It's gonna whoever's getting this job. Like, you know, every university loves to say like a tight list. You know, I mean, because you got like the bums of the world, like Jeff Goodman, who just will like fluff all his guys and then kind of beat down on the people who like don't want to interview with him because he's kind of a weasel. So, like, you know, I'm sure DeVries' agent the Drake coach, his agent, Brownell's agent, all are in Goodman's good graces, which is great for him. But it's like Goodman also gets off to trolling Indiana, even though his daughter goes to IU. So that guy can kick rocks. He's almost as wrong as Seth Davis is all the time, or Reese Davis, whatever his name is.
Hey, don't be talking about Reese Davis now. Come on, brother.
Reese Davis thinks that if bracketologists run the tournament selection committee, it wouldn't be any different than universities' athletic directors. What a stupid take! Oh my gosh! UNC, I had said this, and then I guess someone on Twitter said that, or X, whatever you want to call it, saw this. So I don't want to steal their thunder, but I said the same thing. UNC getting this bid, but their AD getting the $105K bonus for being on the committee is it's having the bride's brother as one of your groomsmen. It's okay, yeah, well, nice.
Well, what if you What if you were friends with the bride's brother before you ever even knew
that could count. That could count. But it's if there's I don't know, say it's a 30-year age gap. I don't know, man. Either way, that's have you seen the show Succession?
Succession. I don't think I have seen that one. No.
Never mind. I won't keep making analogies. But either way.
I love the analogies, though.
Well, basically, in Succession, it's they have a network that's supposed to be CNN, Fox, whatever. And the old guy's he's well, if you guys think I'm, too old, I'll step down from chairman of the board. And he's well, we can have a vote, and I'll step out. And it's an all-glass office, and he just stands at the office door just staring at them. And then he starts telling, his son to put his arm down and stuff. And it's dude.
Oh, man. All right, Max.
Anyway, off that, sorry, I had to get on that for a little bit here. But, yeah, I think a lot of prove-it conferences here. I mean, this is the second year in a row the Mountain West has had more teams legitimately in than the ACC. I'm not counting UNC as a tournament team, so it's 4-3. And last year they did the same thing. I think the SEC has a lot to prove, but I mean, we can be honest, the SEC probably has 6 of the top 10 teams or so. So be it. I mean, they have to prove it now, but it'll be a bad look if, UConn can take it to Florida. Even though they're reigning champs, this team is nothing like the last 2 UConn teams. Bama getting out early would be bad, especially now that they don't have the out of Grant Nelson's knee. Also, why does Grant Nelson look like a lemur? And then Tennessee, Rick Barnes has to prove that he can do it in March. So I'm excited, man. Bruce Pearl's got to shake some demons in the tournament too, and Texas A&M being there is a little scary. I mean, I think the committee didn't do him dirty with Louisville. Creighton, that's a nothing burger game. Auburn's going to whack them.
I like that game. I think that game's going to be intriguing.
Oh, I agree. I think Louisville. I think that Louisville versus Creighton will be a good game, but I think whoever gets Auburn, I think they're going to get a pretty pissed off Auburn.
There you go. Well, all of the talk about the SEC, do they have to win the championship? Because I don't even know if you're a believer right now in the success that the SEC has had this year. I don't know if I'm a believer as far as, one of the best historical runs as a conference in a single season. But if they win the championship and they have 2 of the Final 4 teams, how does that make you feel about the season that the SEC has had?
I mean, good, I guess. I think they need to have at least a team in the Natty. They
win the national championship, and they have 2 teams in the Final 4.
Oh, yeah, then, yeah, for sure. But, I mean, also, it's a numbers game at that point. You have almost 25% of the tournament teams from your conference, so you better have someone in the Final 4, let alone 2 teams. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if they were a fluff job or not. I think they've got pretty good paths. Honestly, who got dogged is Houston. Gonzaga as an 8 seed is bogus. I know, some people want to talk about the Louisville thing, but it's you can't lose at home by 20 multiple times to teams in other conferences, and then your best win being Clemson. So the Gonzaga one's tough. Gonzaga's the problem. I feel bad for Houston because that's going to be a hard game. And Houston's
What
really
if they
good,
don't even
so-
play Gonzaga? What if they're playing the Georgia Bulldogs?
That's true. Sorry, I'm not trying to write off Georgia.
Yeah, don't
Sounds
do
like,
that.
sounds like they're already done.
In my head, they are. I'm kidding. No, if Georgia beats Gonzaga, that's an extremely impressive win. Like, I don't think Georgia has anything to lose. I think it's cool that that team made the tournament. I know, like, Tyler and I talked about them in November, December when they were cooking a little bit in non-con, and I think that's great for Georgia. Like, I mean, I have no animosity towards Georgia. Unfortunately, my boy Tom Crean didn't succeed there, but I wish them the best. I don't know. I would love to see him beat Gonzaga anyway because, I mean, it would just be an extremely impressive win. That's a top 10 Ken Palm team. So, anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think the SEC does need to have two teams in the Final Four for it to be like, okay, yeah, that was warranted, though. I mean,
Have you
especially
filled
how
your
Harris
bracket out
Thunder-
yet? Have you filled your
I
bracket out?
haven't yet.
You haven't?
I haven't yet. I'm still doing some thinking. This is tough because this is one of the chalkier years. So, I mean, we all have those friends who always fill it out like 3 1 seeds and the 2 seeds, and or all 4 1 seeds, and they'll probably do well this year. I mean, we always say that, but this year there is that disparity of those teams at the top that it's going to be really hard. I think. Also, I wouldn't be shocked if Michigan State lost to Bryant. I don't have big enough cojones to pick that, but they're a pretty bad 2 seed. So we'll see. I don't know. The Big Ten, I mean, I'm talking a lot of trash about other teams, but the Big Ten's not that good. I mean, again, still, if you can get under 11.5 wins, take it. But Michigan State and Wisconsin as your 2 pinnacle teams. Michigan won the Big Ten tournament, but that game was bad. I mean, bad by design because Wisconsin was trying to slow them down. So people are like, oh, that was a terrible game going into Selection Sunday. Watch Big Ten basketball. That's a lot of games where they're tackling each other the whole game. But especially for Michigan, who plays like that fast-paced SEC style. So it's probably good for Wisconsin to get into that. But I know Michigan's playing the hottest upset pick in the tournament, UC Davis. They've won 15 or 16 straight. So, I mean, they're kind of like Alabama or Tennessee where it's like, you know, you root for your conference, but if you lost, everyone's like, okay, that's fine. So
there you go. Let's pick these first 4 games this evening. Who do you got out of St. Francis and Alabama State? Alabama State's a 3.5 point favorite.
Yeah, I'm going to take Alabama State, but I kind of want...
Roll Tide! I mean, my bad.
High Tide.
High Tide. Have you seen the St. Francis mascot, though?
What are they called? Like the red something? Red? They're not the Red Storm. Red Flash,
Dude,
that's right.
Look up Frankie the Friar, and that'll make you root for him. That guy looks like the Heat Miser in like a monk costume.
Yeah, he does.
Dude,
That's
like,
funny.
come on,
That's unlocking a core memory right there from back watching 25 Days of Christmas.
Yes, sir. Good call. A good pull. You guys, do you guys watch Severance?
I did. That's an Apple one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched, well, I'd like to say I watched the first episode, but it was like 20 minutes of the first episode before I fell asleep. But I'm gonna, I'm working on catching up on a lot of things. Like Righteous Gemstones just came out with season 4.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm catching up on
great opening episcode.
You liked the opening episode?
Heck yeah, they can do a spin-off on that.
Yeah, that's true, but I was just really expecting, Danny McBride, like, Jesse and all of them, and then I just get this old, like, I get where you're coming from, but it threw me for a loop. When I got episode 2, I was like, all right, but still, it felt like they were trying so hard in episode 2, and it is bad when I'm laughing more at them on a jetpack more than I am, their words.
That's fair. Yeah, I have, I need to watch episode 2 still. But, and then in that other game, unfortunately, I think UNC wins just because the Mountain West is equally awful. This game stinks, so it's too bad it's not West Virginia, Indiana or something, but whatever. Good for Buddy Cunningham. That guy just made my list. Just kidding. He made my email list.
You said the Big Ten under 11.5 wins, right?
Yeah, if you can take that somewhere, it's probably a good bet.
Yes, sir.
Can you take it somewhere?
I sure can.
Can you take it on the one that's legal in this state?
I can.
The rock hard.
No idea.
Rock hard betting.
that is not where my eyes are looking at right now.
All right, well, if you can, let me know the odds. They should be decent. I will Venmo you offline.
Yes, sir.
All right, real quick, North Carolina, San Diego State, who you got there?
North Carolina, sadly, but I really hope I'm wrong.
All right, and then we'll wrap it up with tomorrow's first 4 games, Mount St. Mary's and American University.
Oh, nice. Pinnacle Television.
Yeah, 540.
Wow, that really gets you going. You know what? I'm not going to take a side, Dave. I'm going to take the under.
All right, 128.5 for the under. He'll go over under that, and then Xavier in
Think
Texas.
of how nervous those kids are. They've only played on like their local streaming Wi-Fi on their university, and they're on national television. Oh my gosh,
dude! I had a 10-leg parlay on Saturday. And the final, I hit the first 9 legs of it. It was $1 to win 178. The final leg that I needed to be hit was UAB in North Texas to go over a measly 135.5, and they went under.
That's
wow.
tough.
Yeah, it was tough, but it is what it is.
That's why they call it gambling, right?
Hey, that's why they call it gambling. And then last but not least, Xavier in Texas. Who you got there, Max?
You know what? I'm going to go with Texas there. I don't buy Xavier one bit. It's kind of like a spike game. I just don't want Xavier to win. So, plus, there's no way Texas can't hang with Xavier. Xavier just choked to Marquette in the Big East tournament. It's really hard. There's a really bad Big East here. And I don't think Texas is half bad. I just don't think Texas knows how to close out games. Similar to my Indiana Hoosiers.
All right. Well, tell the people what it is you do and how you can help them, my friend.
Yeah, Allegiant Lending Firm, 850-565-1160. Happy to help you with single-family homes and condos. No land, juice isn't worth the squeeze. And if you're a North Carolina alum, don't call me.
Wow. Hey, some of the realtors in your network are going to be a little disappointed about that, eh?
I can assure you there is no realtors or North Carolina alums in the area.
All right. What if they're fans, though? I mean, come on, the North Carolina and that powder blue.
They're an enemy of the state.
All right. All right. That's Max Delight. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get up with him if you need a great lending company from Allegiant Lending. Go ahead.
I appreciate that, Dave. Also, I don't know if you caught opening day today.
Lord, no.
But I was up for it, and that's probably why I'm so hostile still, because it's been 12 hours of being awake. But, man, Yamamoto, what a freaking splitter that guy has. Holy cow.
Yeah, I heard that he was taking care of business. Showed it looked good, but had a couple of walks and didn't help out the Dodgers. But can you guess what jersey James is wearing and what hat I'm wearing right now?
I'm guessing you're wearing a Braves hat, and I'm hoping James is wearing a Cubs hat or Cubs jersey.
He's got a Cubs jersey on, and I've got the hat to match. Go Cubs, man! I love wearing hats of losing teams on their days. Max Delight, ladies and gentlemen, you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. This is ESPN Northwest Florida. Little trivia action when we get back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Mondays and Fridays are out because we can't ever know when you're going to be there or not. Tuesday's Auburn Day, so maybe he'll call at 8 o'clock on Thursday to talk to Jerry.
I tell you what, you guys do a great job. I listen to you every morning. I won't miss you.
We were like, why? But we're glad. Weekday morning 7 to 9, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Tuesday. Sunny the rest of the day with a wind out of the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour and 71. Tonight, look for mostly clear skies with a temperature near 59. Tomorrow, a high around 73 and sunshine. Thursday, quite warm with a high of 68 and a slight chance of showers in the morning and then mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
That boot store reminds you with the warmer weather usually means spring is just around the corner. That boot store will help you celebrate any time of the year with one of the widest selections of Western wear in the area. They can fit the smallest to the largest, so bring the family and dress up Western style at an affordable price. Carhartt work clothes are available too. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 till 5, Friday and Saturday, 9 till 5:30. Next to Bill Burr Kia 15th Street, that boot store where God is good all the time.
What's one of the best things for your immune system? Let's see. Hi, Doug Chamberlain with the Samaritan Ministries Family Health Checkup. Considering the season we're in, the best way to avoid getting sick is a healthy diet, exercise, and good hygiene. But another tool for your arsenal is loading up on vitamin C. It has many proven benefits like lowering blood pressure, reducing arthritis pain, and easing allergies and asthma. But as it relates to cold and flu symptoms, it's effective at boosting the immune system. And according to studies, increased dosages taken periodically throughout the day, whether in natural foods or by supplements, can actually shorten the duration of a cold. So when you feel cold symptoms coming on, or to get ahead of them, grab some vitamin C and take an effective step to staying healthy. For more, visit us on Facebook or at familyhealthcheckup.org.
Live and local from the Pindian's Best Move Studios. You're riding shotgun with the Afternoon Underdogs. We're going to need some gas money. The Afternoon Underdogs.
Fill her up, please.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back to the Doghouse. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. I'm David Hazel. I'm with Tyler Bishop. Almost like Caveman Rick, used to Tuesdays, but it's not Caveman Rick. It's James Fife, sporting the Chicago Cubs jersey. You waking up at 5:10 this morning?
For the next game?
Game 2.
Game 2? Yeah, probably. Thinking about it, I don't have to be here tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to go to the beach with my wife and the dogs. So
so we'll see you around 4 o'clock then.
Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Well, sweet. Great stuff. I'm excited about it. No, I'm just kidding. Enjoy your day on the beach tomorrow. Just do me a favor. Are you going to be here in Panama City Beach, or are you going to Mexico?
I'll be down
Beach?
I'll be down at the dog beach across from Pier Park.
All right. Just don't drink any alcohol on the sandy beaches.
Not right now. No. Wait till next month.
For another, 12, 13 days, whatever
12 or 13 days. Yeah, absolutely. Got through the weekend. Had a good weekend. Now it's March Madness time. That's about the only thing I'm focused on. You have a good St. Patrick's Day yesterday afternoon? Get you some corned beef and cabbage?
I
waited till the day to
at
eat
all.
it.
But, I was
to get it.
Woke up at 3:30 yesterday for work, and then just worked all day and went home and went to sleep.
How is that? How do you like waking up at 3:30 a.m.?
Not my favorite.
Not your favorite? I can only imagine. I've had a couple of overnight jobs. Working at stocking the shelves over there at Walmart. When we had the oil spill here, I worked at this waste management place, and I was putting together boom and stuff over 39. That's where I learned not to do hard drugs. Those guys are
it's all firsthand. Why not?
Not even like some of the guys were, they had been in and out of it and stuff, and they were like, bro, like don't ever get strung out on this kind of stuff. And then, I love people, and I love learning about people, and there are some things that I was like, I wish I would have never learned that, but I'll tell you what, when I've worked, like, I did a long time in restaurants and working breakfast. There was one morning where I was supposed to be there at 8, but the night before they said come in at 5. And 5 in the morning, and so I woke up at 4:30, got to work, and I was just like, look, don't ever, the next time you ask me to do this, I'm telling you right now, I'm quitting. Like a week later, they ask that. I get there, and I'm like, listen, I'm going to open this up, but you better have someone to come.
Because I'm about to roll.
I'm done, bro. I get so mad when I wake up early in the morning. I'm just like, this is not how you're supposed to live. But, everyone does things differently. I don't know how I got to being like that, but it is what it is, right?
I loved working nights, man. I worked nights on an ambulance.
Oh, I'm talking about early mornings.
Show. Oh, loved it. I hate early mornings. Sometimes when I was working for the park system, man, we'd work baseball tournaments, softball tournaments. We'd leave at 1 a.m. and have to be back by 4:30 in the morning. That was tough when you do that 3 days in a row.
No, sir.
I like overnights if I could get away with working maybe 2 nights a week and get the same amount of pay, because it really starts to start affecting your sleep schedule. Then you're on this different schedule than anyone else is that what had me quit my last overnight job was creating a softball team. I was like, I want to start playing softball again. So I made a softball team, and I told them,
Sorry about it.
You will see me again. I'm not a big believer in, I'll do it, here more than likely. I'm not a big believer in 2 weeks. Because if you wanted to get rid of me, you'd get rid of me.
You're not going to give me where I am. Depends on how long of the time I give you.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. I've been here for a long time, and Randy's been good to me. So it's one of those where, hey, I'll give you the 2 weeks and all of that good stuff. But if I'm at a new place, and if you were to get rid of me, you'd get rid of me that very day. I don't know, man. Am I wrong for thinking like that?
I've had people threaten to fire me, and I literally just handed them everything to them. Okay, good. Bye.
Oh, well, see, one of the times, this is why I'm really thankful that I ended up in the sports world, because one of the jobs I was doing, I was rolling sushi for a place, and I told them 2 weeks prior, and it was my buddy who was my manager. I told him 2 weeks prior, I said, hey, I will work till this time on this evening. It was Alabama-Clemson. It was actually the year that Clemson trounced us 44-16 or whatever. And I told them, hey, I need off at this time. And, it's slow time of the year. It's not a big deal. All you got to do is just have someone for that time. But I'm telling you, if you don't let me off at that time, then I'm leaving and I'm not coming back. And, yeah, so we get to that day, and I go into work, set everything up, and I'm saying, hey, so, who do you have coming in this time? Well, I didn't schedule him. Okay, all right, well, you can take over then whenever I'm gone, or if you have any issue with that, then I won't be coming back. And so the owner comes in and he's like, are you sure you want to do that? I'm like, with you coming in here talking? Sure, absolutely, bro, because he's someone who's not even I don't think he's a factor here anymore in this area, but anyone who ever worked for that man will tell you, yeah, probably not the person that you'd want to work for. I'm not going to throw anybody's name under the bus, but yeah, that was restaurants. Oh my goodness, Lord, I don't ever want to go back to work in restaurants again, please. And I think Chick-fil-A, that's a different situation, but the jobs that I had in the restaurant industry,
it ain't for everybody. I've known a lot of people who worked you can't live in Bay County really without working in the restaurant industry for some.
You got
or grow up here. I guess if you move here as an adult, it's a different story.
It depends on if you already have a career.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking it because there's good money in that industry.
Yeah. But it ain't for everybody. It ain't easy.
Right. It's a very different type of world. There's no doubt about that. What school in the upcoming tournament has the largest enrollment? That's our trivia question for today. 850-215-6290. 12-pack of Buffalo Rock, not but that boot store, and a Golf Plus certificate. I've got some spring college football questions for you. We've only got 28 minutes left in our show. One of the big things that I've noticed that college coaches aren't liking is cutting down to 105 people for the roster. How do you think that looks going forward here, this being the first year that they do that? Is that going to hurt college or is that going to hurt the high school recruits? Who does this hurt more, having to cut down to 105?
So I think depending on how much of a football nerd you are, there's been an 85 scholarship limit for a while now. But this is referring to overall rosters. I think before this rule, you could have 125 or 130 total players, so that's 85 scholarship plus your walk-ons. So now you're taking 20 to 25 walk-on spots essentially away. But that's 20 plus opportunities per team times how many teams. I mean, that trickle-down effect for the high school level is going to be incredible, because even if it's a walk-on opportunity, we've seen it with guys like Stetson Bennett. Georgia has a guy named Dan Jackson going to the draft this year. He'll probably end up getting drafted. Baker Mayfield, right? Notable walk-on turned Heisman Trophy winner. They hand out an award every year for the best player that started off as a walk-on turned, college star. So now you're talking 20 or 30 of those guys per team per year. In the SEC alone, you're talking 300, 400 kids. So I think it's a terrible situation just because we're taking away opportunities from other guys. And I don't think it'll hurt the teams a whole lot. It may hurt with some practice. The way guys organize practice, it may change some of that kind of stuff. But the roster as a whole, you're probably only playing 60 or 70 guys for the most part in a year, depending on injury and how many blowouts you have. But it's definitely going to, like, high school kids are not going to have as many opportunities, or they're not going to have as many D1 opportunities. They're going to have to drop down to, FCS, D2, D3, JUCO, which there's nothing wrong with any of those, but it's just going to cut. And then eventually, like, those kids that went there are not going to have an opportunity because somebody that was better than them is now dropping down a level. So it's really unfortunate. We've seen high school athletics getting hurt with the COVID rules and all these guys staying in college a little longer. And this is just another thing that adds to that and just is, like I said, just taking away opportunities from high school kids today.
There you go, man. Great answers, as always, from our prognosticator of college football. That's Tyler Bishop. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. We've got 28 minutes left, and we're looking for your call. And I've only got 78 people in the bracket challenge. Y'all got to be kidding me. Let's get that thing up to 90 ASAP. This is the Afternoon Underdogs on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
The game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good evening, this is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Tuesday's weather forecast. Clear tonight with a low near 59 and a wind 1 to 5 miles per hour. Sunshine tomorrow morning, a light breeze out of the southeast and a temperature of 70. Slightly warmer in the afternoon and evening around 73 with sunshine and a wind out of the south at 11 miles per hour. A variety of mostly sunshine and isolated thunderstorms Thursday and quite warm around 68. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hi, folks. It's Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Did you know that we have a master jeweler right here in the store? That's right. She has over 20 years experience in the art of repairing jewelry. Most repairs are done within a week. So don't send your jewelry off for 6 weeks. Bring it to us at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. We size rings and solder chains. We can reset diamond into a custom design. You'll get your jewelry back quickly and looking as good as new. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, Bay County's trusted jeweler for over 50 years.
Powered by Panama City Toyota. Your home for Auburn Tiger basketball. WGSX Lynn Haven. WVLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Ready for a great deal? It's ready, set, go time at Panama City Toyota, where you can get 3.99% APR on the perfect combination of sport and utility in the new RAV4, plus 90 days until you make your first payment. Get 1.99% on the ruggedly refined Tacoma, plus 90 days until you make your first payment. And get 1.99% on a new Tundra. Named the best resale value in its class by Kelley Blue Book. Ready, set, go.
Offer ends March 31st. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
We're broadcasting live from the Bendian's Best Move Studios. From the pros to the future pros, we're your home team station for home team sports. Now back to the Afternoon Underdogs. Wow. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back here in the Afternoon Underdog studio. Tyler Bishop, David Hayes, and James behind the glass doing the ones and twos, making this whole thing happen. Dave wanted me to embarrass myself and bring us in on that one, but...
no, that was smooth as it gets. James, tell him how good of a job he did right there.
Smooth criminal, man.
Yes, sir.
There you go. We had Max texting back in saying we made some of the listeners laugh a little bit there in the previous segment, but that's all a product of Max Delight. And I don't think I would ever get on here and call North Carolina fans communists.
Hey, we don't call him the wild card for nothing, man. The man doesn't hold back. The man says what's on his mind, for better or for worse sometimes.
We do have some stuff to dive into with college football, and then I'd like to try to dive into this bracket and have some fun with it. Have you picked a bracket yet? No, you haven't, but you're going
I got it ready to go.
Georgia all the way. Make sure you get over there to ESPNPC.com, click on the big bracket challenge for more fun. Invite your friends and your coworkers. I've been to Chick-fil-A twice on the beach in the last 3 weeks or so. And I think maybe you just don't work with these people, but I'm like, y'all know Swaggy T? Y'all know Tyler Bishop?
They will know.
Yeah. Like,
that's my Callaway name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're like, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm like, well, you need to work harder then. Like, if the manager doesn't know your name, you're not doing something right. The trivia question that we asked this afternoon was, what school in the upcoming tourney has the largest enrollment? 850-215-6290. Also, we'll ask you what school in the upcoming tournament has the smallest enrollment, and James has the answer for that. If you get them both, we'll give you a 12-pack of Buffalo Rock, a $25 gift certificate to not the, but that boot store, a Golf Plus certificate of $10, and Major Smokehouse worth $25 as well.
And Dave will give you a high five.
And I'll give you a high five, and I don't even like to do them lately. I'm starting to finally get some strength back in my wrist, but handshakes for a while, man, they would you'd go in to shake someone's hands, and that's something, like, when I was growing up, that was,
growing up in the South, that's like a thing.
Yeah, right. Like, my dad, we would practice doing handshakes, and so lately it's been one of those things where I just try to, like, get away with the fist bump or whatever, and people will come in and they'll shake my hand, and my thumb's real weak to grip, so it's like I get no. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry about
those, like,
the
floppy
fish. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. And then what I've also tried to do is just wrap it up, like, in some bandage or whatever, and then that kind of gets me out of the handshake. But then people's like, what's wrong with your wrist? And I'm like, I wish that I had the answer. It could be arthritis. It could be carpal tunnel. I don't know what it is.
Just make up something different every time. It was a snake bite.
Yeah, I don't got no scar. I guess you could go with that right there. That's a.
Well, if it's rap, they won't know anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, what's your go-to on the menu item at Chick-fil-A? Show a little love.
It really depends on the day.
Yeah, because I mean, you've been there for so long.
Like, it really, like.
Has it got old to you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, like, every now and then they'll roll out with something new and be like, all right, it's new and it's nice, and then it's like,
but it's still chicken.
Yeah, it is.
Still chicken.
But I always say, like, because I'll eat chicken elsewhere, and then it's like, oh, how could you do that? If it all tastes the same, like, I wouldn't have job security, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it don't all taste the same. Like,
no, chicken doesn't all taste the same, and even the items on Chick-fil-A's menu. I mean, the difference in the fried and the grilled is a large difference, you know. And plus, you can, if you want to spice up your grilled chicken deluxe, you just add a different cheese, man. You go with a Colby Jack. You go with a pepper Jack. That's how you keep it different. Will, you're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. What's going on, my friend?
How we doing? I'm going to take a shot at the trivia. I'm going to say the largest population in the tournament, Texas, and the smallest, Lipscomb.
Oh, did he get the smallest right, James?
Did not.
Oh, man. 0 for 2 right there, Will. And Will Palfrey's a big-time listener. Southern Miss just always hit me with some updates for Southern Miss baseball. And they didn't end up making it.
And Matthew Russo.
And Matthew Russo, no doubt about that. Will, thanks so much for the call, but those were not the answers we were looking for.
Okay. Thanks, David.
Absolutely. Mr. Will Palfrey does a great job, and if there's a school out there that you're a fan of, he's probably got some memorabilia that he could hook you up with. Of course, there is a price that comes attached alongside of that. I will say this. You have to, when it comes to the largest enrollment, think outside of the box. Don't think of the schools that you're used to thinking of. Think internet. And then when it comes to the smallest enrollment, James, do you have a hint?
It's in the South.
Okay.
It's a school in the South.
There you go. 850-215-6290. Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins just got their bags. A lot of money to be paying two wide receivers. But if you had your choice of two wide receivers, both, I mean, really until you get down to the touchdowns, they're pretty much identical along the way throughout their careers.
Yeah, no, I mean, part of it for me is the quarterbacks Justin Jefferson's done it with. I mean, that's no disrespect to Kirk Cousins. Sam Darnold had a great year this year. But, I mean, yeah, Jamar Chase, he came into the league with his college quarterback. I think there's a little bit more familiarity there. You could argue that Jefferson definitely has an advantage when it comes to head coach, if you're talking Kevin O'Connell versus Zach Taylor over there. But, man, at that point, it's really just a personal preference. That's like asking me to choose between like $100 in ones and $100 in fives. Like, do I really care? It's $100. You know, it's
yeah. Well, that other $100, the $1 bills, the George Washingtons make that wallet feel a lot thin. You're like, oh, my sciatica nerve is acting up again.
But like I said, Jamar Chase probably has a little more power to him. Justin Jefferson's made some just insane catches. The one against Buffalo that ended up being essentially a game winner. What was that, a year or two ago? You know, I think he's probably had a few more of those plays, but I mean, like I said, if you're making me force between the two, I'm picking one, and it doesn't really matter. You're not losing sleep over it either way.
Hey, there you go. Well, Max has got his answer. West Virginia coach DeVries is now Mike Woodson's replacement over there at Indiana. Show me that one more time, James O. Michael from Lynn Haven. You're riding with the Afternoon Underdogs. What's going on, Michael?
Hey. Just wanted to give a try for the trivia.
Yeah, absolutely. What school in the upcoming tournament has the largest enrollment? And on the flip side of that, to win yourself $25 extra to Major Smokehouse, who has the smallest enrollment?
So the largest, thanks to your hint, being an Alabama guy, it's got to be Troy, right? With the satellite campuses?
No, that is not. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just going off of the numbers that I saw where I saw them, and that's what I have to rely on to keep this, all in fair. Dude, do you know how many times I'll Google something and I get conflicting answers? The other day, this is an example. Sorry to run my mouth while you're on the line with us, but the other day, looking at Spencer Strider, right? He just had his appearance. His first appearance since his Tommy John surgery. I saw several sites where it was saying that he had 6 strikeouts, and I saw several sites saying that he only had 5 strikeouts. So,
I saw 6.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, at the end of the day, from what I got the most out of the source from was 6 strikeouts, so that's what he got. But what I announced on the air yesterday was 5. Either way, Troy is not the answer we're looking for. Who do you have winning the whole shebang, my friend?
Ooh, that one's tough, but I'm supporting my wife and going with Florida. I don't trust Auburn to make it.
Happy wife, happy life. I'm also going with Florida. Thanks so much for the call, my friend.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. Get in that big bracket challenge if you guys haven't already. My goodness, we only got 18 minutes left to go in the show this afternoon. We were talking about Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. What was your final?
Give me Justin Jefferson. I think he makes a few more of those highlights. But, I think I saw that Chase was making like $5 million a year more than Justin Jefferson now.
And that's where things, when you look at it,
for
you're
that
like,
kind of money, though, give me.
If I'm looking at the money and production, then boom. But how far are we? Probably 2 years away?
Yeah.
Maybe less than that for Justin to get a new deal.
Yeah, probably. Maybe next season. Really kind of depends on if he's that kind of guy that just wants to get repaid every so often. Maybe he's just kind of the guy. He did. If you never saw the wide receiver Netflix series, he came across like a really just down to earth, genuine guy, and so it wouldn't surprise me if he's a little bit less like that. Maybe kind of more of like the Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady model or even Travis Kelce, not really taking the above and beyond market value every single year.
From what I've heard, Travis Kelce's girlfriend, I forget what her name is, but she's got a lot of money.
Even before that, he was never really the type of guy that wanted to break the bank. Was actually kind of getting underpaid, relatively speaking, for his position in his production. But and we've seen Mahomes now. He's only quote unquote like a $45 million a year quarterback, and we're seeing guys up there 50, 60 year mark. And Matt Mahomes, man, he's crazy. So we saw with Brady for a long time. The guy took some discounts, and again, his wife was independently wealthy, which probably helped a little bit, but it also helped the Patriots long term when we saw the success he had.
All right, the last one, and we'll get started. What I'll do is I just made this a conglomeration of all of the afternoon underdogs. This isn't even the right one, but we'll make a mascot bracket. So we'll dive into that. My last question to ask you from college football. Deion Sanders, head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes, he wants to mirror the NFL preseason, which is basically you scrimmage with a team for about a week, and then you have your exhibition game or your spring game here in college football. And first, let me just get your take on that. What do you think? I mean, we've already had, 5, 6 teams now, Ohio State, USC, Nebraska, I believe Colorado Texas is one of them as well, Texas, opting out of the spring game, not going to have the spring game. Now, majority of those coaches are saying because of funds, which is like, come on, that's the
Texas is hurting for money.
Yeah, exactly. The stupidest thing that I've ever heard of. And Matt Rule saying, well, I don't want to give guys, eyes on guys that could be going to the transfer. Brother, they got film, dog. Yeah. If they want your player and they think that they would fit in better at, where someone would transfer to that would be of a higher echelon than Nebraska, anywhere. Iowa. No, I don't want. Where did you say?
I said anywhere.
Anywhere. They're going to go there, and that's kind of something that Deion.
If you're like a head coach in college football, you know that the spring games they're glorified practices. They're practices for the fans. So like if you're taking that much out of one spring game and offering a guy a huge NIL deal, then you're probably a pretty bad head coach.
And also in a spring game, are you really going to tackle your hardest? No, you're going to see better offensive production because those guys can still go out there and run full speed, but that D-back's not going to shove him out and knock him out of bounds real hard because he doesn't want to hurt the other guy for the season.
It's like every year in the NFL preseason, we'll see a guy blow it up for a team, and then he gets cut, and nobody wants him because it's the preseason, and coaches and scouts are smart enough to know, just because you can do it against another team's third stringers doesn't make you an NFL caliber guy. Not saying there haven't been guys that have done well in the preseason and gone on to have a good career, but it's not, like I said, I hate the way that it's going because it's just another thing that they're blaming the NIL portal, all that good stuff. And it's just another thing, I grew up watching the
NIL portal? What is that?
NIL and portal, I hate it. And I like Deion's idea, but we already have kids opting out of bowl games, so we're going to have kids that are going to try their hardest in a spring game. That doesn't matter either. I don't see the one-to-one.
But, okay, well, in preseason, right, when they're going against each other all week and you're hearing about this fight, that fight, they don't get as much, face time against each other, but maybe that could ramp up. Again, you don't want kids maybe going 100% for too long. You want them going 100%, but not,
But I mean, if we already have kids opted out of bowl games, are they going to play meaningfully in a spring game against another team that doesn't
depends
matter.
On how bad they want to play, I guess. Maybe. So that's a good point, and this is something obviously we'll talk about until we get to the regular season of college football, because if you guys don't know this or not, but after every Tuesday we're like, we've got this many, we got that many, we get to the draft and then it's like, all right, we've got this many Tuesdays, when are we going to start doing previews, all of that good stuff. But no, I love having Tyler Bishop here in the building with us. We have another caller on the line with us, and Jim is calling with us, playing a little bit of trivia. Jim, who is your favorite to win March Madness?
Well, I was doing your largest and smallest.
No, I know, but I had to ask you a question. I had to keep you on your toes a little bit. Florida. That's where I'm going as well. All right, Jim. Largest enrollment in the upcoming tournament and the smallest.
The largest is Texas A&M, and the smallest is Bucknell.
Is Bucknell the smallest?
Bucknell is not the smallest.
Nope. And the largest, again, everyone's going with the right names, but there's one that's just a little bit above them. Thanks so much for the call, Jim.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. 850-215-6290. We got 13 minutes to hook you up with $25 to Not Thee But That Boot Store, $10 to Golf Plus, $25 to Major Smokehouse, and a 12-pack of Buffalo Rock. All you got to do is tell me what school in the upcoming tournament has the largest enrollment. Think outside of the box. Go into the safari. Go grazing with the antelopes. And then the smallest enrollment as well. 850-215-6290. Love Tyler's answers from Deion Sanders. Now, here's how we're going to do this bracket challenge. Or not this bracket challenge, but y'all get over there to ESPNPC.com and sign up now. We're at 79. Not good enough for me. I need to see you guys. At least we got to break 103. If we don't break, but I want to see it at 120. 120. So get your friends, get your family involved right now. It's time to fill out those brackets and get ready for Thursday at 11:15 when it locks. All right, we'll get to one more trivia question here. We got one? Nope. All right. So with that being said, here's how this is going to work for our mascot edition.
All right.
I'm going to throw it out. It'll be James and Tyler voting. If both of you guys agree, then we go that way. If not, I'll be the tiebreaker. All right. For the Bulldogs versus the Bulldogs, we'll flip a coin if we have one. If not, I'll flip a vape or something like that, and we'll figure it out. Maybe do a little Rochambeau. All right. Auburn Tigers. Wait, I don't know what Alabama State's what, the Hornets, right?
Yeah. Hornets, yes.
Yeah, all right. What is St. Francis?
The Friars?
Are they the Friars?
I think so. We can find out real quick.
All right, what would you take out of a what would you take out of a friar, which is essentially like a padre, right? Essentially a Catholic priest?
Yeah, kind of.
Like a monk almost, right?
Kind of like a monk almost, yeah.
A monkist. That's a monk and a priest combined there. Would you take a hornet or a monkist?
I'm taking a hornet or ooh. I guess give me the monkist.
Is the monkist allergic?
Outside of that, we're good.
I'm going with the hornet, man.
All
if you
right,
get a couple
hornet
of them coming
it
after
is.
you.
That's who they're going to be playing. All right, do you got a tiger or a hornet?
I'll take the tiger.
I'll take the tiger.
All right, Auburn moving on. All right, let's go to this is a good one. A cardinal or a blue jay?
Blue jay.
I'll say cardinal just to hear your answer.
I'll go blue jay. I mean, those are some feisty birds, son. My papa's, one of his favorite birds is the cardinal. But I tell you what, blue jays, some of the prettiest birds, but they are very, very territorial as well. All right, let's go to a wolverine or a triton. Someone's got to man the triton,
somebody's got to man the triton. Who's manning it? Somebody meaner than the wolverine?
UC San Diego's who's manning it.
Ooh. Give me the wolverine.
Same.
All right, moving on to the next one. We've got an Aggie versus a Bulldog.
That's tough, man. Aggies are loaded with six-shooters. Give me the Aggie.
Yeah, no, I mean, dogs got tame for a reason, right?
We've got a Rebel versus a Aztec/Tar Heel. So first we got to go with Aztec or a Tar Heel.
Aztec.
All right, then an Aztec or a Rebel.
As long as they're not
tough.
spreading disease, give me the Aztec.
All right.
Well, I guess one of those first world disease.
Feels like we're playing video games in this thing. A Cyclone or a Bison?
It's got to be Cyclone,
right? Cyclone's going to take you out harder than the Bison, but a one-on-one, you probably got a better chance of surviving the Cyclone than you do the Bison. So I'm going to say the Bison wins.
Okay, well, I'll break that tie with the Cyclone because if the Cyclone comes anywhere near that Bison ain't going to be
we saw
food.
a Twister, baby, right?
Exactly. Let's go with a Marquette's Golden Eagles, right?
Do believe so.
All right, Golden Eagle versus a Lobo, which is essentially a wolf. So Golden Eagle or a wolf.
I'm going to take the
tough
Eagle.
because the Eagle's got the height advantage, right?
I'll take the wolf. Wolf size, wolf quick.
Right, but they're never going to have an opportunity to take down the Eagle unless...
The Eagle's on the ground chewing on something. They're a scavenger bird. They got to come to the ground to get something at some time.
I'm going to go with the Golden Eagle.
What's the Golden Eagle going to do? It's not going to pick the wolf up.
It's going to fly up, and then next thing you know, that wolf's sitting there like, where'd you go? And then next thing you know, the Eagle comes in and grabs it with his talons. I'll go with Marquette. We go to a Spartan versus a Bulldog. Spartan or a Bulldog?
Spartan, right?
Spartan.
All right, that's the south portion of the bracket. Let's go over to the east portion. A Blue Devil or, well, actually, first we got to start with the play-in game. Would you take an Eagle or a Red Flash?
I guess an Eagle. I don't know what a Red Flash.
A Red Flash is like it's like a hot flash that you have during menopause. We'll never experience that.
Ooh, that's got to be painful. So give me the Red Flash.
Okay. All right. So Red Flash takes the Eagle. What do you say?
I mean, are they battling each other? Or is it something we have to survive?
Yeah.
Okay, give me the Eagle then. I was making sure I was understanding.
I'm going to go with a Red Flash. I'm going to go with James, man. That's something that none of us want to encounter unless we have to. All right. So a Blue Devil or a Red Flash?
I'm taking the Blue Devil, I guess.
I'm going to go with the Blue Devil.
All right, good. I'm glad you guys didn't make me have to pick that one. Let's go with a Bulldog versus a Bear.
Gotta be a Bear, right? I mean,
Bulldog versus a Bear. James is on the line. I don't know how a Bulldog is going to... I mean, listen, I know that they are territorial and they're going to stick up for their owner and all of that good stuff, but
Bears are scary, man. That's an aggressive bear, I guess.
We're going to say a Bear wins unless James comes on the line and says that he would take a Bulldog. Bulldog or a Bear? Bulldog or a Bear?
Bear.
All right, so Bear. Moving on. All right, Will is back on the line with us for trivia. Will, what's going on?
I'm going to take another shot at the trivia.
All right, normally we don't allow this, but because we don't have an answer yet for it, go ahead, Will. What do you got?
Largest is Grand Canyon, probably because of your tip and the online stuff. And then smallest, I'm going to take a shot at Wofford.
James?
He got the smallest.
He got the smallest. He got the largest. He got the whole dang prize. Mr. Will Palfrey, you are correct. You got $15, or you got $25 to Not the But That Boot Store, $25 to Major Smokehouse, $10 to Golf Plus, and a 12-pack of Buffalo Rock.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, David.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Hey, yes,
God
sir.
bless. Thanks for all the love, too, man.
Oh, absolutely, man. You do a great job, and I'm really thankful that you listen to us here on the Afternoon Underdogs. Will Palfrey, ladies and gentlemen, is your winner. We're going to keep it up here with our bracket challenge there. Will, just stay on the line, and James will grab the information that he needs from you. James, as soon as you get back, we will keep it rolling here, because this is a tough one for me. First off, Liberty, right? College university, Christian university.
The Flames, right?
That's my question. All right, this is a big time, from what I know, Christian college. What is the biggest antagonist to and speaking as someone who believes in Jesus Christ themselves?
Biblically speaking, right?
Biblically speaking, this has got to be the worst Christian name in all of Christian college history, right? Am I wrong? Like the Flames, okay, there's a couple of songs like "Fan the Flames," all of that. I think that's their daggum theme song or whatever, not
fight
theme song, a fight song, yeah. But my goodness, I don't know. Anyways, a duck or a flame, who wins? I mean, Aflac covers you from flames, right?
I mean, I'm assuming we're talking about a fire, right? I mean, give me the flames.
All right, man. I'm gonna go with the Ducks just because I don't like the more that every time that I see, and I've known a couple of kids who have actually went up there and played football. One kid that's went up and played football for Liberty. A couple who have went up and played basketball.
We need to get Malik Willis and Hugh Freeze on the phone and get their opinion.
Yeah, no, this guy was an offensive lineman. But yeah, maybe we get Hugh Freeze on and then just hey, we're only getting you on to talk about your time over there at Liberty. And it was like, oh, wait, also, by the way, roll tide, brother. How's 4th and 31 feel when you see it playing Madden? James, who wins out of a duck and a flame?
The flame.
Gosh, you guys disgust me absolutely. All right, moving on here. We've got a wildcat and a zip. A zip, essentially a kangaroo. We'll give them that.
Kangaroos, man, they can fight.
Hey, they feisty, I tell you what.
I'm taking the zip.
I'll take the kangaroo.
All right, zips it is. I'm content with that. This is going to be one of the worst brackets of all time. All right, we've got a cougar versus a ram here.
Got to be a cougar.
Cougar.
VCU, moving on here. We've got
VCU's the Rams.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. No, BYU. Oh my goodness gracious. All right, that's how you know I'm just looking over here at the time. Like, when's it over? Badger versus a Grizzly.
Gotta be Grizzly.
Wisconsin versus Montana. Yeah, really? I think I would take a Montana. And this is why you don't do brackets based on who would win in a fight. You got a Gale versus a Commodore.
A Gale?
St. Mary's Gales.
So a Wind versus a Captain.
But it's not a G-A-I-L. Isn't that how you spell the Gale for Gale Force Winds? And then a Gale, G-A-E-L, I believe that has something to do with some sort of like Irish history.
Like Gaelic?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess unless you can find out exactly what it is, I'll take the Commodore just because I at least know what that is.
We're going to get an AI overview. A Gale refers to a person of Celtic origin, or Celtic origin, specifically one who speaks Gaelic or whose family spoke Gaelic, a group of languages spoken in parts of Ireland and Scotland.
Give me the American
origin. The word Gael comes from the old Irish word Godel. Godel. All right, where you at, James? Don't just show me one finger, man. Show me what you want out of the Gale and the Commodore.
Give me the Commodore.
Commodore.
All right, there you go. SEC. SEC.
It just means more, baby.
We've almost got through like a portion, half of the first round of the bracket. All right, the last one is going to be a Tide of Elephants. The Crimson Tide going up against the Colonials of Robert Morris. Listen, I know you guys love America, but choose wisely here.
Well, if it's a wave of elephants, then, come on, But if it's just a wave, then maybe it's a whole different conversation.
It's high tide, bro.
High tide, yeah. High tide. We'll take Alabama just because I want Dave to cry.
Yeah, we'll go with the elephant.
Oh, all right. Good stuff there, guys. With that being said, that is pretty much going to take us to the end of our allotment. Actually, we've got to go right now. No, we're not going to 50.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida presents the madness of college basketball. 68 teams, 32 conference champions. But there can only be one. ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio home for the